I can't believe I had the Costco Tresanti desk for so long. In this video, I want to explain to you why you probably shouldn't buy the Costco Tresanti desk and a few reasons why maybe you should. This is why you shouldn't buy the desk. This is why I grew to hate this desk. Number one, the lowest setting is too high, and it's probably gonna be too high for most people. I measured it over 29 inches at its lowest setting, which is kind of uncomfortable for me to type on. My current desk that I'm using now, this bad boy right here is like 28 inches. So let's say an inch and a half difference. This one is an inch and a half lower, and it makes a huge difference. So over time, while using the Costco Tresanti desk while typing, it ended up hurting my wrists just because it's too high. So picture kind of like this craning motion. I know it doesn't seem like much, but trust me, over time, if you use it a lot, it's not gonna be comfortable. And it's not gonna be comfortable for most people because most men and women are not 6'2", and there is a general sitting desk height that you should follow based on your personal height. And that chart is right here. I'll try to pull up the chart so you can see kind of how tall you are and then your most comfortable setting. Remember, it may not seem like a lot, but a couple of inches makes a huge difference here, folks. Reason number two. So look, the desk is too high. Simple fix. You should just put a footrest or a foot hammock or something for your feet down there. Wrong. This desk has a bar going across the bottom of it. So not only is there not any leg room, even if it were your proper height, but also if you want to use a footrest as like a solution for having a desk that's too high, you can't really do it because it's going to be too cluttered down there if there is any space to fit in your footrest at all. So yeah, you can't put a footrest in and there is no leg room. Reason number three. The desk is too narrow. At least it was too narrow for me. This desk is curved, so it's thinnest in the middle and then thickest on the ends. On the thickest end of this desk, I measured about 24 inches, and in the center where you're going to be is 21 inches. Now, I have a giant monitor. My giant monitor is 32 inches large, so when I was sitting up, I'm basically doing this. I'm looking from corner to corner. It's just far too close. And even a 27, I think, is gonna be too close. I just think you would benefit a lot from having more distance between you and your monitor. It was just really uncomfortable for me. So if you're gonna use a larger screen like myself, a 32-inch screen, a 27-inch, I would say this desk is a definite no-go. And you might say to yourself, well, look, I can just use a monitor arm and then clamp it to the desk and that's gonna save me some room. Well, not really. Reason number four, the Tresanti Costco desk is not good for monitor arm clamps. I had my monitor on an arm that was clamped to the desk and it was super sketchy because the part where you can actually clamp it to is too narrow. So now we have an adjustable height desk on an adjustable monitor arm that's all kind of sketchy, and it's not a good solution. It just wasn't very comfortable to use. I'm cramped, there's no leg room, I'm too close to the screen, and then when I am adjusting the screen, it's kind of finicky because it's not really clamped right. So yeah, in short, number four, it's very hard to clamp a monitor to this. Reason number five on why I didn't like this desk is it's just too small for me. In my experience, this desk was way too small. As soon as I put a couple of things on it, it's full. You know, you got your monitor, keyboard, your mouse, and then your computer. I've got a Mac Mini, which goes on the desk. Yeah, aside from that, there's not gonna be too much room for much else. So definitely something to consider. So based off my experience, I feel like maybe you should still consider this desk if, number one, you are tall or plan to just stand most of the time when you're using the desk. Number two, you're also not gonna put much stuff on the desk. For example, if you have a laptop that you just plan on using it, kind of like it shows in the picture, that's totally cool, but you still got to be tall to sit in it. And number three, if you don't have a monitor, or maybe a large monitor, if you have a small monitor with a little computer, maybe you can still make it work. But if you're not using a small monitor or a laptop, I feel like you're just going to be too close to your screen and it's not going to be an enjoyable experience. So that's what I think you should consider. If you're already tall and 29.5 inches is good for you at a sitting height, if you're not going to put too much stuff on it, and if you're gonna use a small monitor, then it's for you. And you know what? There's honestly benefits to this desk if if you can live with it. Here are the benefits of what I actually did enjoy about the desk. Number one, I love the look. I thought it looked sleek. I thought it looked modern. I love the glass top. Speaking of that glass top, I also love the dry erase ability. I would always be on the phone, and then, you take down an address, a number, just a note, something to remind yourself, and you can literally use a marker to write on it. And it's just so convenient. I really like that feature, and I use it all the time. Another cool thing about this desk is the price. Adjustable height standing desks are not cheap, and Costco offers a pretty good deal on this. You can get it oftentimes from anywhere from I think $250 to $330, somewhere in that range. And for that price, I mean, if it can work for you, I think it's a great deal. Also, having 3 programmable buttons was nice. They're like touch buttons, so they're pretty fancy. So you can have your preset heights already. So one for sitting, one for standing, and then a third for somebody else, or I don't know, some sort of weird in between. These buttons are touch, but you won't accidentally touch them because on the right-hand side of the desk, there's a button to lock it. So that way you won't accidentally tap it. Those programmable height buttons are a pretty neat feature in my opinion. The desk also has 2 USB ports on the side, which I use all the time. I mostly use it to charge my phone and my Apple Watch. So it was cool having those there. And the desk also has a wireless charger, which is a little finicky if you have a thick case. For example, I have a, what kind of case do I have? I have a spec case on my phone, which is a little too thick for it to work efficiently. So if you have a thin case or don't use a case on your phone, having that wireless charger there is also a pretty neat feature. I also found the drawer to be super useful. I use that drawer to store my expo markers as well as my SSD drives for editing videos and stuff. So that way I didn't have to have my SSDs on the desk. I could just put them away. Again, this is kind of linked to price, but for what you paid for, the desk is really well built, I would say. And the motor felt pretty strong. I never felt like the motor was weak. It never occurred to me that the motor was gonna go out or that it would be too weak to mount even the large monitor that I had on there. The motor was no issue. It seemed strong. So in summary, I think for what you get, it's a great product. I don't think it's gonna be very useful for many people. You should at least consider what you're gonna do to see if this will suit your needs, because I just grew to hate the desk. Like I said, I felt like the desk was trying to kick me out. Like I didn't feel comfortable. I just felt too narrow. It was very cramped. It was not an enjoyable experience for me by any means. So I had to get rid of it. And I ended up replacing it with a larger, not height adjustable desk. And I will say that I have enjoyed the usefulness of the lower table and more desk space than the raising and lowering desk. I have to be honest with you, I never really used the standing part of the desk, but I feel like part of that reason is also because it just wasn't a big enough desk for me. I just wanted to share these thoughts with you because I had no idea what I was doing when I was buying a desk. I just figured, hey, people who make desks just make them like knowing what the average person needs, and it's gonna work for probably everybody. That's not the case. You really have to think about what you're gonna put on the desk and what you're gonna do with it, and to make it suit you. So if this seems obvious, sorry, it wasn't obvious to me. I had no idea what I was doing when I was buying a desk. And like I said, I hated this desk. I liked it for what it was. Like, I liked the build quality and everything about it, but in actual use, in doing things, in doing schoolwork or making videos, I really didn't like this desk at all. Also, most desks are too high for most people. So I really think you should look at that chart from earlier and really make sure that the desk you're gonna get goes low enough for you. IKEA sells desks that go pretty low, and they are adjustable. They're not power adjustable. They do have power adjustable desks, but the one that I got is not power adjustable, but it does raise and lower manually. So it's not convenient to do, but at least it lets you nail in your exact height that you like it at. So biggest takeaway from this video is make sure you get a desk that's low enough for you to be sitting in it and be comfortable. Anyways, that's it for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And if you want to help support the channel, click on the link in the description down below. It's an Amazon link. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Maybe even buy a desk there that goes low enough. I don't know. Or maybe just get yourself a nice little ice cube tray. I don't know. It's your treat to yourself. Get yourself a comfortable desk.